Let's go to Bill O'Reilly on the Glenn Beck program. Hello, Bill.
Beck, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay. Bill, it has been an interesting week. I don't even know where we should begin. I guess we could either start with Woodward or Kavanaugh. Which do you prefer?
I think Kavanaugh is the more important story for your listeners, so why don't we start with him?
Okay, let's go. Kavanaugh is, in my opinion, a guy who, he's teaching at a Jesuit school, so I'm not sure, the Jesuits are letting somebody in that I'm always comfortable with to teach students, so I'm not sure that you're going to get a better pick more right down the center of America than Kavanaugh, and the left is acting as if you're putting Moses up there who is going to say no, it's only these 10 laws. What's happening?
Well, I think this is instructive in two ways. Number one, that most Americans don't follow the Supreme Court. They don't watch the hearings. They don't know who Kavanaugh is. They don't know why he's important. This is most of the folks. Now, the news people listen to this radio program, come to my website, BillO'Reilly.com. They know. And they know that for the past 20 years that the culture has changed dramatically. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So why has the culture changed dramatically? Why now can't we speak about things and not being without being accused of being a racist or a homophobe or all of that? So the PC culture has enveloped every American. You say one word out of line, you can lose your job, you can be attacked, anything can happen. And that didn't used to be the case. You can't tell a joke. You can't disagree with anything. If somebody wants you to bake a cake and you don't really like what the cake is going to be used for, you have to bake the cake or go to the Supreme Court and spend $1 million. So this is what it is. And this is why people need to pay attention, because all of this happened through the courts, not in Congress. All of this change in the culture was imposed on the American citizen by judges, many of whom are activist liberal judges. Because the conservative movement, all they want to do is keep the status quo. They're not looking to impose anything. So in gay marriage, they just said, well, we really don't like gay marriage because we feel that marriage is a sacrament and should be only between man and woman. We want to keep it that way. No. You can't do that. So now with Trump putting forth two moderate traditional judges, they're not conservative bomb throwers. They're moderate traditional judges. This trend is likely to stop. This PC imposition on every American is likely to stop. That's why you're seeing these people in the chamber screaming, screeching, and you're seeing the far left Democrats on the Judiciary Committee doing everything they can to stop it, because they know that the PC culture, the progressive culture, is not going to be able to progress through Congress. It never has. It's now going to stall, and that's what this is all about.
Okay, may I present a different slightly different take, and get your thoughts on it? I think there are things that are happening right now, and you have to divide them really kind of into four groups. You have the real, true postmodernist Marxist groups, the head of the snake here, the Linda Sarsours, that are out of step with almost everyone except those postmodernist Marxists that want to destroy reason, destroy the West, divide and conquer. those people are very clear, and they, I would agree, want to stop anyone. Kavanaugh, doesn't matter who it is, unless you're a postmodernist Marxist, they're going to scream and yell. But part of their reason for doing that is they need the chaos and the anger. Well, that's when you get into the next group. The next group are the politicians that are using those people. They think they're using them, but it's the opposite way around. They've been using those people for fuel to get people to rally around the Democrats or a politician. And so they're using the legitimate postmodern anger, and they are using that to try to get elected. The media is just doing it because they're with one of those groups, and they get ratings out of it, which leaves the average Democrat. Do you believe that there is a growing number of average Democrats that are not into 183 genders? They're not into, there is no truth. They're not into any of this. And they're not the kind that, like to sit in a room and be told, sit down, shut up, you're going to listen to us for a while. Those people are starting to peel away, or will start to peel away. Agree or disagree?
I don't know what the numbers are about those people. I think younger American Democrats are happy with the radicalization of the party. They have been raised in a sense of entitlement. They want the government to give them things. I'm generalizing, of course. But 45 and down, I think they're happy that we have Elizabeth Warren saying, hey, I'm going to pay for everything in your life.
Correct.
The older Democrats, I think, may be fed up with it, but their problem is that the Republican Party has been demonized to the extent that they say, well, where am I going to go?
Correct.
Do I go to Trump? He's the devil. So I'm not sure the numbers there are going to be significant.
Okay, let's go to Bob Woodward's book.
Yeah,
Bob Woodward. Do you think he's a credible source?
I do. I've known him a long time. I've had him on my programs dozens of times. His reporting of Watergate was honest. But I wrote a column about how he did this. I don't know how much time we have before Stu has to go to the men's room.
I've got about 2 minutes here.
Okay.
Had a big water this morning.
Let me give you the outline of it. You walk into a publisher's office, and you know this better than anyone because you're an author. You say, I want to write a book on this. Give me $5 million. In Woodward's case, it's $10 million. The publisher says yes or no. Got to be a sharply focused book. This is what I want to do. So Woodward says, I'm going to do a book on Trump and the chaos within the Trump administration. Simon & Schuster hands him the check. Then he goes out. Now, he can't come back 6 months later and go, you know what? I didn't find that. I found that there's a lot of good things going on in the Trump administration. He can't do it. All right? He's got to stick to his original plan. So he casts a wide net in Washington, and he knows everybody. Who doesn't like Trump? Who's disenchanted inside the administration? And the names come back. And he starts to call them. And every single one of them say, well, you can't use my name. This is deep background, Beck. Deep background. No name. So then he writes down what they say or records what they say, and then he says, Woodward says, how can I verify this? And they say, well, call my cousin Lenny. I told him exactly the same thing on the day it happened. Here's Lenny's number. And then he calls Lenny, and Lenny goes, oh, yeah, I remember something like that. Verification. And then they put in the book.
Well, what is the difference between these, unnamed sources, and Deep Throat?
Specificity. Because you were basically, what Woodward and Bernstein were reporting on in Watergate were very specific allegations that Nixon
Yes.
was ordering payments to people, paying people to shut up.
Right, but this is
an illegal action.
But so you know, and I know you know this, this book is not about an investigation on Russia. No. It's about how is this administration operating, or at least at the time.
That's right. And I'm glad you brought that up, Beck, because when we come back from break, I will tell you why Trump is handling this all wrong, and how this book could help him if he could figure it out, which he never will because he don't listen to anybody.
Which is in the book. Okay, we'll be back with Bill O'Reilly in just a second.
Glenn Beck.
Welcome to the program. Bill O'Reilly is here now to tell us how Donald Trump should handle the Woodward book.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't understand why, because as you know, I've known Trump for so long, why he just cannot step back for a second and see that he has helped Woodward, that he helps people that he attacks in tweets. Okay? First of all, who cares about the Woodward book, Beck? Who? Do you care about it?
No.
All right. Stu, of course, doesn't care about it. I don't care about it.
Well, wait, hang on just a second. Let's go a little deeper on that. The reason why is because there's nothing new here. I got it.
That's right.
There's nothing new.
What am I going to learn from 423 pages of Trump bashing?
Right.
Nothing. And I was just going to say that, so thank you for speeding me up.
Yeah.
All right. So Trump supporters, they don't care about the book. There's not one of them going to buy it. It's like Omarosa's book, right? The people who hate Trump, they already know that they hate him. So a few people in D.C. will buy the book. It'll get some publicity. It's like
it's going to be a big
guy's book. But
it's going to be a big book. It won't be
I don't think it's going to sell that well in the long run. I don't think it's going to have legs. I really don't.
Yeah,
there's too many of them.
It may not. It may not have the legs that a book like this would have had in the past.
5 years ago, because there's too many of them.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to have to read the same thing?
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm usually not, as you know. Okay, so nobody cares really about this book in the sense that it matters to anybody's life. So Trump, that's number one. Okay, do we have it, Mr. President? No one cares. Okay. Number two, after all this interviews and all of these people trashing Trump from within his own organization, none of them tell Woodward, hey, Trump admitted that he and Vlad Putin were vacationing in the Maldives talking about the campaign. I heard him say that. Okay? Not one mention of any collusion with the Russians or anything. Now, if I'm Trump, that's what I latch on to. All right? So here's the best reporter, investigative reporter. The establishment says he's the best in the world. He comes out with a 400-page book. There's no mention of this. Okay? That's the headline. But no. Trump's got to go, this is all made up. It isn't made up. Woodward's not going to do that. He's not going to make it up. He's got tape recordings of talking to people, and they're saying whatever they say. I mean, that guy's not stupid. So anyway, there you go, Beck. And I don't understand why the White House isn't smarter at this point in history.
Bill, this is a great example of it, I think, today, in that, you have all of these stories and all the controversy and all the back and forth. And by the way, the unemployment rate came out today. It's 3.9%. And does that get any traction at all? Do the American people even know that? I mean,
well, the stock market didn't. It went down. I mean, so I think that's built in again that the economy is good. Trump will campaign on that, of course. I think he did a 7-hour speech last night in Montana. I think he's still speaking, by the way, about how good the economy is. And I heard, though, that he's going to start demanding everybody comb their hair the way he does. That's next.
I don't think that's possible.
I don't think that's
you know what's amazing, Bill, is the guy who cuts his hair. That is everybody. Everybody wants to know. I mean, how does that work, et cetera, et cetera. That guy is a complete unknown. I think he made Donald Trump sign a non-disclosure saying you can never tell anyone I'm the guy who cuts your hair.
He doesn't want to be tied in. Well, he had a haircut last night. That's why I bring it up. You know, it's funny that Fox News carries the whole speech.
Yeah.
And they basically say, look, this is great because
quickly
none of you people have to come to work today. But they lose sponsor time because they don't cut the break.
Back in a minute.
Glenn Beck, Mercury.
You're listening to the Glenn Beck Program.
Let's go to Bill O'Reilly. We've just talked about Bob Woodward's book coming out, and the things that are in the book. It's a time capsule of the way his office was running at the beginning, and I don't think anybody was surprised by it. And I didn't think there was anything new in it. If you take out all the he said, she said stuff, which you're never going to be able to verify unless he releases the tapes. There was nothing new in there at all about Donald Trump even. I mean, that's the guy we elected. I got it. But there was another thing that happened the very next day, and that was the New York Times op-ed of some anonymous high-ranking senior official that is pretty much admitted to a secret combination or a cabal that tried to talk about invoking the 25th Amendment, which means, he's incapacitated or too crazy for office. They didn't, quote, want to cause a constitutional crisis. So instead, they're working behind the scenes to thwart what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Bill, is there any way that this is constitutional or legal or good that you can see?
Yeah, it's legal because even though you work for a president, you have freedom of speech.
No. I mean, this is not a constitutional rule of law. If you're working for him, to be able to go into his office and say, Mr. President, no, this is why it's wrong. That's one thing. But to covertly subvert the president, walk out of his office and go, okay, guys, we're not going to do any of that. That's not constitutional.
No, it's a personnel matter. I don't think you're going to get anywhere on a constitutional level of this. But let me put some perspective into it because I know you enjoy that. They did the same thing to Abraham Lincoln, the team of rivals. I mean, they tried everything to blunt Lincoln's opinion about how to wage the war, the Civil War. The same exact thing happened. John Adams, his crew, the people working for him, they almost hung him in the Alien and Sedition Acts and all of that. This isn't anything new. Every president's got dissenters and people who try to sabotage from within. Every single president. Ronald Reagan, in the 25th Amendment thing, they actually discussed it if you read Killing Reagan. We laid it right out for you. After he was shot, he was foggy some days, and his staff, they didn't know whether he was going to be able to carry on. So all of this is hyperbole, and it doesn't concern me. The New York Times obviously is out to get Trump removed from office. They'll do anything. When this is all masked, it'll probably be Tom Arnold who wrote the op-ed.
Any doubt that name will come out?
Yes, I think somebody will squeal on him. But once it comes out, then if it's Anderson Cooper, it'll be a big scandal.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
We talked to somebody yesterday. He's a journalist. I don't even remember his name. What was his name, Stu? Remember? Matt LaPlante. That was it. And you apparently hate him, and so that was one of the reasons why we talked to him.
I don't even know him.
Yeah, apparently you said that he was, I don't know.
He wasn't a journalist. At one point, apparently, you invited him on the show, and he wouldn't come on.
Who does he work for?
Salt Lake Tribune
and a few other papers.
All right, so he's some local clown who said something ridiculous, and I want him to come and defend
That's
it.
exactly how his website describes him, a local clown. Okay. Yes, you're a beautiful man. So anyway, you didn't like him, but That's one of the reasons why we called him right away. After the show, we got this tweet yesterday that he said, I've put all the phrases and everything into Google, and I'm matching phrases that have been used by people. I've been taking the phrases and then putting names next to them, see if anything pops up. He said, relentlessly, 2 names keep popping up, and only 2 names. Ian Bremmer, who is a guy who's a writer and has written a few op-eds for the New York Times, and John Huntsman Jr.
And they both work for Trump?
John Huntsman works for Trump. He's the ambassador to Russia.
Okay, gotcha. I don't think that's possible.
You don't?
The other guy, is he a speechwriter?
No. So the other guy's just a writer, and he's on TV here and there.
But they were neighbors in Washington. They're good friends with each other.
So the accusation or the inclination, I don't know what you want to say. He wasn't actually accusing it, but his theory basically said that Bremmer co-wrote it with Huntsman. And Bremmer and Huntsman have co-written an op-ed for the New York Times previously.
And Huntsman is the guy who did the no labels thing. And, it does
he worked for the Obama administration as well.
Yeah, it does read like Huntsman. But, there's no evidence of that other than this one guy.
Yeah, well, I have one word, phooey. You haven't heard that one in a while.
Is that the word of the day today?
Phooey. Yeah, I don't care. I don't speculate. It's boring. I got something on Nike. Do you care?
Yeah.
Okay. Today, writing in the New York Post, Phil Mushnick, I love that last name, Mushnick, points out that Nike has been credibly accused of paying overseas workers nothing to make its very expensive Air Jordan sneakers. In fact, for years, Nike's been criticized for exploiting foreign labor. So I'm paging Colin Kaepernick in my tweet. Hey, Colin, how about that social justice, huh? Dreaming? I think they're dreaming over there in China, making the Nikes for no money. Isn't that nice? What do you think?
Well, I have something for you. Tell me what you think of this.
All right.
The stock of Tesla taking a dive today.
Yeah, it's a good car. A friend of mine has it.
It's a great car.
And I like it.
Yeah.
But Elon Musk, that's his name, right? Elon Musk?
Yeah, that's his name, yes.
Okay. I don't follow this stuff, Beck. I mean, I got a car that's 4 years old. It gets me where I want to go.
Well, he's more than just a car guy. I mean, he's more than just Tucker.
Anyway, I went to a party one time, and I don't go to parties much, but I was paid a lot of money to do it. And Elon Musk was there, and he was sitting there, and he didn't introduce him, but somebody introduced me to him. He said, "This I say, how you doing?" Well, the guy didn't say one word at the party for like 3 hours to anybody. So that's my Elon Musk story. He looks like a guy who's
work on that story and bring
frazzled.
it back. Work on that. What'd you say? He's a little frazzled. Well,
it looks like it.
His stock is going down today, and there's 2 reasons I want to bring this up. His stock is going down today because he was on the Joe Rogan show, and he smoked pot on the Joe Rogan show, which
legal pot or no?
Yeah. In California, it was all legal. It was a blunt, and it was half tobacco, half pot, I guess.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. You and I, we're smoking our blunts all the time.
You get lung cancer twice as fast.
Yeah. So anyway,
really
he's smoking
good.
this, and you're thinking to yourself, what are you doing? I mean, you are a CEO of a company, and people are saying that you're a little unhinged.
Right.
What are you doing?
Well, you don't know what he's doing. What he's doing is there's going to be a new advertising campaign for the Tesla, and that is when you charge up your car, your electric charge, you get a free pot.
Free blood.
It's like very much in the drug culture there.
You're smooth. No, you're smooth. The other thing is
$150,000 for the car, so here's a little bag of pot.
The other thing that reason why I want to bring this up is I've been watching Joe Rogan for a while, and Joe Rogan was the guy who was, we eat this spider for $100. He was that guy. And he started a podcast, I don't know how long ago, and it has grown into an absolute force. No one in the mainstream media sees that they have been dethroned. They're just
it's just like BillO'Reilly.com.
Well,
it's just like my thing
with pot.
I mean, we're going crazy, and thank you for mentioning it. Oh, you didn't?
Sure,
I did. All right, okay. So Rogan's good. I got a gift for you and Stu.
Oh,
really?
You do? What?
For you, Beck.
What is that?
Okay. We started a new concierge service on BillO'Reilly.com.
Did you? Really?
Yeah.
Can I get
a little extra money?
Can I get a hookah there?
Yeah, we send you pot. No,
okay.
That's not true. The concierge service means you directly, if you sign up for the service, and I'm giving it to you and Stu free, okay? Because I know you need this service.
I do.
You can email me directly with any questions you have, and I'll answer them.
Well, that is something, it's
what people are. What a lot of these concierge members are doing? They're asking me questions about their kids in school. It's fascinating.
Why do you know about their kids in school? Is there something we should know about here? Or?
Certain teachers are doing this. How do you handle it?
Yeah.
What should the kids say? What are my rights? Should I allow it to happen?
See, we have
a lot of that.
We have something very, very similar where you can just email me at glennbeck.com, and then I don't even read it.
Yeah,
and so it just goes into a black hole.
Not really successful. But at BillO'Reilly.com, I do.
Yeah,
I do, and I answer all of them. And there are some really insane ones too. Yeah, there's one that people write in and they say, we have a city council member named Hortense, and she's really mean. What should I do?
And what is your advice?
My advice is, don't ever come out of the house.
Right.
That's it.
Okay.
If this is what you're paying to ask me, just don't go out of the house. Stay inside.
Bill O'Reilly from BillO'Reilly.com. You can sign up. When you join BillO'Reilly.com, is that what you get? You get this?
No, you're a premium member. When you join, you can upgrade a concierge membership, and you and Stu are getting it.
Oh wow!
I'm very excited about this.
Because you guys need a lot of advice, and I'm there for you.
It's like Christmas on a Holocaust day. It's wholly inappropriate. I don't even know what that means. Bill, thank you very much.
All right,
might have been the blunt that I had. Thank you.